The Psalms are about worship. They teach us how we are to worship God. The Psalms describe acts of worship, and they embody attitudes and feelings of worship and reverence and joy. And you will find at least 6 great themes as you study across the Psalms. Here they are. There is hope. There are a lot of people that come to your churches Lord's Day after Lord's Day, and they're not coming preparing for a celebration. They're just trying to hang on. And guess what the Psalms are waiting for them with? Hope. A reason to put one foot in front of the other, a reason to get out of the bed, a reason to go on, a reason to go one more day. Weeping may tarry for the night, but joy comes in the morning. The Psalms are filled with this theme of hope. There is a reason to hope. Don't stop hoping. Keep on hoping in God. My soul, put your hope in God. Second, the Psalms are filled with the Lord's goodness. There is no hard question that can be asked to Christianity of which one part of the answer is, the Lord is good. When my dear friend Diane Sartell woke up from the accident that killed her husband and her youngest child, in the hospital, separated from her other 2 children who had also been in that accident and had survived, and she was told what had happened in the accident, how would you respond? Here were her first words: "The Lord is good in all he does." The Lord's goodness is a hugely important doctrine for the Christian life, and it's all over the Psalms. Third, the Psalms teach us that our God hears us. The Lord hears and answers his people. He will rescue the poor when they cry to him. Psalm 72, verse 12. You'll hear me, Lord. You'll turn a gracious ear to me. You'll hear me. The Psalms, fourthly, teach us that our God is amazing. Who is a God like our God? There's no one like him. How amazing are the deeds of the Lord. Psalm 111, verse 2. Lord, you amazing. Only you could have done this, oh God. Only you could have done this. You are amazing. The Psalms teach us, fifth, that you can and should call on God from anywhere. If I make my bed in Sheol, you are there. From depths of woe, I raise to you a voice of lamentation. Out of the depths, I cry to you, O Lord. Psalm 130, verse 1. Luther often said, let us sing, Philip, De profundis, out of the depths. You're in a situation where you can't do anything. That's when it's time to cry to God. And the Psalms teach us that. And the Psalms teach us that it's always time to worship. It's always time to worship. Psalm 146, verse 2, I will praise the Lord as long as I live. It's always time to praise the Lord. When Job had heard that his children had been killed, his houses lost, his servants scattered, the Lord gives, the Lord takes away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. And he fell down and worshiped God. Margaret was a nurse in Forest, Mississippi, when her 2-year-old son drowned. She held him in her arms at the Blair Batson Pediatric Intensive Care Unit in Jackson, Mississippi, as he took his last breaths and as the monitor indicated that he had flatlined. The moment he took his last breath and the brain activity stopped, she looked up to me and said, "Ligon, can we sing the doxology?" I felt like I was on holy ground. I didn't deserve to be in a room with a woman like this, but she understood the message of Psalms, the message of Job. It's always time to worship God. 3 quick final applications. The Psalms teach us that God is the center of everything, and boy, do we need that. We think we're the center of everything, and we think God is here to help us get what we want and accomplish what we want to do. But we're here not to accomplish our will, but to do His will. We're here not for our own glory. We're here for His glory. We're created and redeemed for the praise of His glory. And the Psalms tell you, you are not the center of everything. God is the center of everything. But when God is in the center of everything, it is for the best of His people. The Psalms teach us that. Second, the Psalms teach us that everything in life is meant to serve God's praise. Everything in life is meant to serve God's praise. Everything. Every obscene evil in this world will bow to the purposes of God's good and kind promises and providence, and He will receive the praise. Everything is meant to serve God's praise. And finally, our feelings must be reckoned with and even expressed in worship to God. One of the hardest psalms is Psalm 88. There is not a glimmer of light in Psalm 88. It's all darkness. But think about this. Here's this saint with no hope, and God says, write down that psalm, and we're going to sing it in worship. You bring your despair, your desperation, and your hopelessness, and you sing it to me. Really? I can take it. You sing that despair to me. Because our feelings are to be reckoned with and expressed in our worship of God.